Your choices shape your reality. Everyone's familiar with this concept, but what does this actually mean? If you observe it from a logical perspective, there's no direct correlation between choices and the outcome of your overall well-being. Let me show you something. Choices have consequence, and for every consequence, it has been pre-programmed. So in this world, you are not at liberty to choose consequence. You can only make decisions or choices, then consequence are a byproduct. Majority of you frown at your consequence. Oh, I'm addicted to all sort of things, harmful content and weed. But you made the choice to position yourself in environments that people smoke, and by extension, you began to smoke. You made the choice to consume movies with graphic content that stimulated the appetite to go do the other thing. One of the classic ways to beat any addiction is to obliterate the cues that stimulate those desires. For instance, you want to quit the orange and black hole, yet you still consume movies, you still consume content with women. My advice on that wise would be to cancel out every single thing, cancel out subscriptions, delete TikTok, stop watching shorts with half naked women. It's not going to help. Another thing you can do, like I just or like I just intelligently pointed out, imagine a drunkard who comes along and says, I want to stop drinking. Yes, there's a game by 9 on Saturday. He goes to the bar to see the game. What do you think is going to happen? Exactly. So majority of you are trying to beat addictions in the environment that fosters those addictions. Back to our initial discourse on the orange and black hole. You're trying to stop it, yet you are awake by 4 a.m. alone in the middle of the night with your computer. What else do you think you're going to do? You're trying to quit, yet you have posters of beautiful women surrounding your room. It's never going to work. So choices have consequence, and the consequence of every single choice has been pre-programmed. Majority of you frown at your consequence. Majority of you, why are you body shaming me? Why are you calling me broke? Instead of frowning at the consequence, obliterate the choices that makes those consequences your reality. If someone comes along, you're poor, I'll probably laugh it off. Why? It wouldn't register as an attack because that's not my reality. Conversely, look at your own life. Someone makes that statement, you become upset, you become outraged, you're quick to start typing rubbish like some keyboard warrior. It's never going to work. Instead, why don't you analyze the decisions you've taken up until that point? Could it be that you've been making choices that pegs you at that level? Some of you, what you call problem today is as a result of poor choices, poor choices. I'm deeply in debt and I have to sell all my assets. Please help me. When I hear the story, I'm infuriated because the problem you call problem is as a result of poor decision making. What's your problem? I met a man while sipping coffee. He looked quite affluent. He introduced me to this business. I had to sell off my assets, get into debt, inflate my credit card, invested in this one thing. He made profit for a little while, but my greed got the best of me. Now I lost everything. I would sympathize with you. Perhaps I would extend a helping hand. But when you understand this concept, you rid yourself of so many problems. There are some things today in your life that are termed as unnecessary problems. That's what I dub them. Unnecessary problems. Unnecessary problems. I'm having issues with my wife today. Why? Because I drink alcohol. If you were Muslim, that wouldn't be a concept. It wouldn't exist. Now, I'm not saying you should revert to Muslim, to Islam rather, because I'm Christian myself, but just for illustration purposes. Choices. Choices. Another one is some of you attack consequence. Some of you are hell bent on solving consequence as opposed to the choices that brought about that consequence. It's a losing game. Refer back to the analogy I gave on weed. You're trying to quit weed, the effect, as opposed to obliterating the environment. Stop hanging out with the friends that are complicit in that activity. What happens when you make the decision and the promise to yourself, I'm never going to take weed, I'm never going to sip alcohol today, and you go and hang out with the same people who encourage the activity? What happens when they pass you the blunt? Do you believe you have the willpower to say no? No, it's impossible. Something I still struggle with was video games. Video games is one of my bad habits. What did I do? I took out the console, stopped hanging around with friends who are complicit with that activity, stop going to places or friends' place which have console because I'm busy and I have new things to do. That's how you beat addiction. You cannot end this video without exploring the sole arbiter of choices, which is your beliefs. You are never going to make a choice if you do not believe it's in your best interest. Now, whether it is true or not is none of our business. You would always reap the consequence. Ignorance has a price, and irregardless of the knowledge of the price, you would still receive it. If a child puts his hand in a plug, electricity is not going to say, whoa, 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 it's a baby. No, he will learn very quickly why his mother warns him not to take that action. Throw a baby over the cliff. Gravity is not going to stand still and catch her, make the little one land softly. He or she is going to learn very quickly to stay out of high cliffs. That's if the individual survives the fall. But you get the point. There's a price for ignorance, and you keep paying for things you do not know. I always ask myself this question: how much do I want to earn annually? $1 billion. Then there's something I don't know that is recycling pain. There's something I don't know that's costing me to lose $1 billion annually. That's how I see it. I lose $1 billion annually because of ignorance. The difference between us, the difference between you and me is information. The difference between you and Elon is something he knows. If there was some neurosurgical process that takes your mind, substitute that with Elon. Now, whether he'll give up his brain is a different discourse in and of itself. But you would act like him. You would produce the exact same result using your body. The point I'm trying to extract from this illustration, the problem is not your body. The problem is not you as an individual. The problem is your beliefs, your mind. And your mind is subconsciously making beliefs that pegs you at a position, an unfavorable one in that matter. So when you listen to things like change your beliefs, change your minds, your mindset, I'm giving you an exact breakdown of why you need to do so, step by step, and the linear correlation to why you need to take that step. So as always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.